Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey, and it is early morning. It is February 7th, 2019, and it's about 5 a.m. in the morning. I've been awake now for at least a half an hour, and I want to talk about some sensitive issues. Um, I want to talk about medicine, veterinary veterinarian medicine and human medicine. I think they're all tied in, and that's why I'm including this both in this live stream. Yeah, and I tend to like doing these live streams early morning because I'm more relaxed and I really speak out of my heart, and that's what I want. So I will start with my veterinary doctors. As you guys know who have been following my channel, I have three darling little dogs, a Pekingese, a Havanese, and a Shih Tzu. My Pekingese just turned 6 years old, and my other two are 9 years old. A week ago, actually less than a week, just a couple of days ago, I brought all three for their biannual teeth cleaning under non-anesthetic anesthesia uh, teeth cleaning. And my reason of doing so is that small dog breeds tend to have what they call bad teeth. They're prone to tooth decay. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning. Yes, you could just say hello in the chat. All is welcome. Yes, I welcome. I made sure I put on my glasses so I could try to read the comments as they come in. Yes, I um I was told that little dogs, are prone for uh te- you know uh, teeth problems, and I thought most of those teeth problems were due to poor diet. Like a lot, like little, because the little dogs, they're like little babies or children, and you want to cuddle them and you give them treats all day. So I told myself that I didn't want to give my dog uh, problematic food on a regular basis. If you're going to give it a little treat, just a little something, but not all the time. Because I personally have seen dogs, little dogs like chihuahuas. I saw this one chihuahua's teeth that it was literally orange. It had looked like this plastic um, debris, like this hardened stuff. It's plaque on the teeth, and I just kept a mental note, and I said no. Now those teeth didn't look like they're gonna fall out. They were in there. So here my dog. So obviously that pet pet owner was not bringing the dog to a dentist on a regular basis. Now that dog's teeth, even though it's a Chihuahua, the teeth were larger than my little dog's. Okay, yeah, because the flat face breed dogs, the Shih Tzu and the Pekingese, they're flat face and their mouth is smaller. So, so I'm very careful. I don't like giving them treats on a regular basis. And to prevent tooth decay, I brought my dog every year to get their teeth cleaned professionally. And then I did my at home cleaning. Now, I have to be honest, I did not clean my dog's teeth every day. There were at times where I cleaned it consecutively every day. And well, I thought, just keep on going to the doctors, the dentist, and have them clean the teeth. If you're not going to do it every day, make sure you go get their teeth cleaned, at the dentist, at least twice a year. If I could afford, I would even go 3 times a year for the non-anesthesia dental cleaning. So, um, I think it was a year ago. Like I go twice a year, so it could have been 1 year ago that the dental hygienist was saying that the tooth was a little loose in some spots, and you have to be careful. Make sure you try to clean the teeth more. Blah blah blah. So I was doing that, but I could have done more. But the tooth looked, especially their front teeth, it looked very clean, very white. And my little boy, the Pekingese, who went to the dentist last week, to my surprise, they mentioned that she could not do the teeth cleaning because the teeth were too loose in the front. It's the bottom front teeth. Yeah, it's extremely crowded, and it's like micro teeth, really, really tiny. And I did notice when I was cleaning, it seemed a little um, softer, but she couldn't even clean it. She said, and there was a problematic tooth in the back that was a little loose. So she said you have to go for anesthetic anesthesia teeth cleaning for that dog. But the other 2 dogs she was able to do. Now, out of all 3 dogs, it's the little boy, the Pekingese, that has the best teeth. Beautiful white teeth. They look gorgeous. But yes, tooth crowding in the front. Again, it's a little has a little mouth, you know, um, but it is what it is. So I had the second appointment. Maybe like the first appointment was, I think, two, Thursday or Friday that just passed. And then I went to the dentist yesterday for the follow up. And this follow up is like a preparatory follow up for the anesthesia teeth cleaning that would be done maybe a month from now, their available slot. And I saw a new dentist in there. I think she was like a student. When I came in initially, it was the owner, the head doctor that actually came and opened the door for me, because it wasn't open outside. I did come early, and I talked to the doctor a little bit, but it wasn't that doctor that I would be seeing. It was another doctor. She seemed nice and everything, so I didn't make any big deal out of it. And she examined the dog. She checked the eyes, ears, and the mouth a little bit, and took the temperature, and then took blood samples. She was very good at taking blood samples. My dog wasn't in any um, obvious pain when that was done, but the dog was a little nervous. But overall, he seemed pretty good. And the doctor insisted that the dog needs anesthesia, teeth cleaning, and the necessity to extract those loose teeth up front because it could result in infection. That there's an infection, obviously. I said, but that, the teeth are very white. They look clean. They look healthy. And I come here twice a year for professional teeth cleaning for my dog. And you're saying my dog has needs possibly teeth extraction, the whole front teeth. And I think, well, how could that be? She says, well, you know, it's deceptive about how clean the teeth is. It's what's in the gum. It could be an infection, and infections could spread, and that's why it's important, to get it done now because it could spread and infect other teeth. And on the surface, that sounds good. I mean, that sounds reasonable. But I'm questioning because, see, all these procedures cost money, serious money. Now, not that I don't want to spend money on my dog. I spend money on my dog, on their health, and on their top quality food. I use the recommended food. It's called Stella and Chewy for my dogs. It's expensive, and it's supposed to be one of the top foods. That it's oven baked, and on the outside it's a raw coating um, for the food that's supposed to be very, I guess, bioavailable to the dog nutritionally. And so I felt I was on top of everything. So where's this alleged infection coming from? And I said, well, I really don't want you to pull out anything if it's not necessary. My dog doesn't seem to be any pain, but she's saying, if you don't pull it out, it could cause an infection could set in and fall out. It's what's going in the gum. So I said, well, maybe you should just treat the infection. Give it something to remove the infection to keep the teeth. That's my approach. What if the dog innate like the Chihuahua I saw? Now this lady didn't look like she was in any distress with her dog. I mean, the teeth were horrific looking, and those teeth look like it's in that dog's mouth. And if the tooth is that loose, it'll probably just fall out. Like the dog would probably be chewing on something, and it'll naturally fall out. An infection is infection. That's something else. And you treat the infection. I see people on the street with all loose, teeth loose, whatever, and boom, it can fall out. You're a little young child, and you're chewing your food, and sometimes, you have a loose tooth, and it can naturally fall out when you're chewing on something, it come out. I'd rather my dog lose, if it's going to lose teeth, I'd rather it lose its teeth naturally than it just fall out. Um, I'm having second thoughts, and the other reason why I'm having second thoughts about bringing in my dog, because see, they said that they are going to they're going to contact me. Like, okay, yesterday they called me for follow up. I mean, they told me they got the blood results for the dog to okay the surgery for the teeth cleaning and possible teeth extraction. They said that you're going to get an estimate at a later date, and we're going to contact you and give you the estimate. And now you all know the word estimate means it's not going to be exact amount, and it's going to be over that amount. Okay, so I'm I'm wondering, wow, how much is this going to cost me? Teeth extraction. Now those teeth are really, really baby, 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 baby teeth. But they're going to go by the number of teeth, not that they're micro-sized teeth up in front. And it's probably going to cost an arm and a leg. The stress of putting the animal under anesthesia and then the teeth cleaning, and then the teeth extraction. I don't know. I'm a little angry. Um, the doctor I saw yesterday also said about genetics. They're small dogs, and it's just possibly just genetics. It's not like what you did, it's genetics. So maybe genetics could naturally let the teeth fall out then. Okay, if it's nothing that could be done to save my dog's teeth, I spend thousands of dollars every year for the natural, the regular upkeep of my dogs, in addition to, the regular doggy visits with vaccines and all that, and this preventive stuff, and I can't get the teeth saved. And there's another thing. Now it could have been maybe no more than 2 years ago. Now I feed my dog food, and then one day my little Shih Tzu had gotten terribly, terribly ill. I don't remember the dog food that I was using, but I thought it was a good top quality. I don't want to chinks on my dog's food. I go for the quality foods for my dogs, of the kibble. And then one day the dog, um, she started like barking, like, and then she violently throwing up this liquid and diarrhea at the same time. And then I noticed blood in the stool. So I raced my dog to the vet, and they couldn't really find anything wrong. But they said they think it's the kibble. Something is interfering. Something is irritating her GI tract. So my instincts told me, okay, that it needs to cleanse out. And I had this thing called quinoa. It's a grain that people eat. And so I made some. It was red quinoa, and I handed it to her. It was the first time I gave it to her. And it cleaned her out almost immediately. I never saw anything like that. I fed it to her, and I think less than 5 minutes, she's pulling it out. All the smell came out with the quinoa. There was no smell whatsoever. Before it was a stench of something that smelled awful. After she defecated the quinoa, the cooked quinoa, my dog's healthy. No blood, no irritation, and you bet I changed kibble. Yeah, because then the other dog, the Pekingese, started getting symptoms, and then the latter, the Havanese. And it's always seemed like when there's a sickness, it's in that order when they get sick. The Pekingese, the I'm sorry, the Shih Tzu, then the Pekingese, and then the Havanese. Okay, it's always in that order. So I don't give them that kibble, and I really wish I can give the name of the kibble. And I was told that kibble had been recalled 3 times according to the store where I purchased it. And it was the new helper at the store that told me that information rather than the owner who I bought the dog food from. And when I came back to that store to buy a different food, and told the guy, hey, my dog got sick off of the kibble, and he played dumb on the matter. When I told him, hey, I was told that that brand was recalled 3 times. Oh, really? Well, I tell you this. That store is no longer around. See, karma gets to you when you lie to your honest customers, your faithful customers. Yeah, they fell out of business. Okay? I had stopped going to that store, and maybe just once in a blue moon, just to get a little something that they might have, like maybe shampoo, whatever. Just so, because it was right next door to where I live. If I can't get to the regular store, I'm just forced to go there and just get a little something. But I stopped doing shopping with them. So um, I then decided, I said, I followed what others told me rather than my instincts. And the quinoa worked. Does it mean that quinoa is going to work every time? No. But I needed to help my dog who I love. And I didn't like how they examined the dog, was hurting the dog. And I would not go into graphics about what they did to the dog to try to get a stool sample. I said, what's worse, the physical examination or the actual sickness from the kibble that was irritating my dog's GI tract? I don't know. I stopped going to that particular vet. That was the first major vet that I went to, over a prolonged time. That was going to be their new vet. It was actually a nonprofit organization that I would get the dogs treated. I went there for several years, maybe 3, 4 years. Then I stopped. Now I'm going to this new place for maybe 3 years or approaching 3 years. I like them because it's a small establishment. Um, it's in another borough. I like them. They seem really modern and everything. But now I'm having second thoughts. And my second thoughts is again for this following. I know I'm getting long winded and everything, but it's building up what I'm getting to. Um, well, so I decided to change the kibble, and then I said, let me cook for my dog. So I gave my dogs home cooked food. I said, if I won't even eat the damn food, why should I give it to my dog? Give your dog what you're willing to be eaten, but tailorize it for your dog. And my dog seemed very healthy. But again, the little Shih Tzu is a picky eater. One minute she wants to eat the food, and then, I'm picky, mommy. So she did lose a few pounds. But overall, especially the Havanese, seemed to thrive on it. And it cleared up her eye stains. With light haired dogs, they get that nasty, rusty stain around their face. That's a bacteria, a virus. I was told a virus that it's in their body fluids, including their tears. And when it tears, the virus emits a chemical, and that chemical is what oxidizes and causes that horrible brown stain. Now, I tried different products on the market, and nothing cleaned it up. But you know what did clean it up was eating live food. I fed my dog home cooked meals. And you know what else? With the shock, which is going to be shocking to many of you, but my dog was vegan, and I was vegan. My dog was vegan for maybe one whole year. I was vegan for 9 months. So I would cook my dog home cooked meals. And then later I did buy some meat. I made sure cook that meat and present it to them. Yes, dogs love meat. Yes, and that's a given. Dogs love their meat. But they were vegetarian. And I got this dog supplement. There's a particular mineral, a nutrient that dogs need in their diets. That it's an extreme necessity. So I brought that as a supplement in a droplet form. I I put it in like I had this oil. I think I put in this fish oil and I mix it with the supplement and they put it in a drop form. My they seem to thrive on it, very lively, and also these dog vitamins supplements. It came in powder form, And it was designed for those people who cook for their dog's food, and you just sprinkle on top of the food. So they had this that essential nutrient that they must get, plus that powder um, dog vitamin mineral supplement that you sprinkle on, and then the veggies that were cooked. So it was steamed. I steamed their food, and it cleaned my Havanese from the inside out. No longer did she have stains. I said that seems pretty good. And I only changed and started giving them kibble because I felt at one time that what if it's an emergency and I have to bring my dog to a kennel to be watched over. Maybe I have to go out somewhere, or take a trip or whatever, and I can't bring dogs, whatever. They're not going to be cooking my dog's meals. And so I said to myself, boy, if that is the case, if I'm forced to go somewhere, and I mean if I'm forced to have to put my dogs in a kennel for any period of time, one, they have to have their shots, and two, um, they have to have some type of food that they're going to be used to eat, because they don't like, if you didn't know, dogs get moody and not want to eat because they want the food that they want. Yes, they would do it. My Shih Tzu would do that. Okay, and these people at the kennel, they really don't care about your dog. Many of them don't. They care about their paycheck, the people that work there, and not the dog. And so they're not going to be watching over the dog. Are they eating properly? Are they going to play with the dog? So I said, look, I don't want to stress myself out in case of an emergency. I'm going to go the full hole on my dog, and that they get every possible shot that they have to get, and feed them kibble just as a backup. Now I'm thinking, I don't know whether I want to do that. Okay, so the next part of the story is when they were vegetarian, my dog, when I gave them home cooked meals, I brought them to the doctor twice a year. The veterinarian that's in Brooklyn, the new fancy one, um, and they said, I can't find anything wrong with your dog. And I was upfront. So I said, look, we're vegetarian, we're vegan, and I give them this supplement, that supplement, blah, 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 blah. And I want to make sure my dog's healthy. Give them every possible test necessary to ascertain whether what I'm doing to them is harming them. Good morning, viewer. Good morning. Yes, you can give a hello in the chat and share your comments. So, with my dog, the doctor said, and it was the male doctor, the owner, said, I cannot find anything physically wrong with your doctor. And there's really no blood tests about any nutrient deficiencies, which I find very hard to believe. Yeah. Hi, Easy 417. Yes, good morning. Good morning. I'm talking about my vet experience, with my dogs, and I will be discussing about myself. They're all tied in about the medical field. So I went twice a year, and they examined them, and this is the head doctor, vet doctor for my dogs. And all of them were in top shape. And the doctor said, the vet said, that they never heard of this. They said dogs need meat. But I honestly cannot find anything wrong with your dogs. Just please, I just feel more comfortable if you just give them some meat, just a little meat, just a little protein, just a little protein. Okay? That's according to the vet. So he had to do all the protocols for my dog. Like now, so my dog's on the top, top quality kibble, Stella and Chewy, that they recommended. They recommended a slew of doggy dog foods because they want to steer you away from the traditional high temperature cooked foods. That they use this device that puts it under ultra heating, and they told me that those traditional dog kibble is carcinogenic. That means cause cancers. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning. Yes, you could say hello in the chat so I could give you a hello. So, so what happened? So, how is it that people, pet owners, follow doctors' rules and everything, yet they said the kibble is causing cancers and tumors in dogs? Why create a kibble that creates cancers? Hey, Majestic. Yeah, good morning, good morning. Yes, it's good to see you. So I question, why aren't these vet doctors advocating for us pet owners about the dangers of the kibble? We trust you. We trust the foods for the dog because we assume that when you go in a pet store to buy your dog supplies, the food and everything, that it's in the topmost health for your dog. And then to find out a couple of years ago that the dog brand I was using was problematic. It was recalled 3 times, and then it was causing GI distress in my Shih Tzu first. And then when I do home cooked meals, oh, you might hurt your dog. But I can't find anything wrong with your dog. I went twice a year, make sure everything's good. And they physically couldn't find anything wrong. Give every test. I said, I'll pay for every known test to make sure my dog is healthy. Yeah, back then I had more money. Now I don't have as much money. And yes, if you guys want to donate to my channel, I will appreciate it. I've been spending thousands of dollars to maintain my health and my pet's health. And yes, so now my funds are not as viable after all these experiences. But again, um, no pressure. And again, it's what your heart tells you to do. If you want to give a penny, give a penny. If you want to give more, give more. If you don't want to give any, don't give any. But you can give a prayer at least, if you like to, a prayer from your heart to promote my dog and my health well-being. That would be appreciated. So again, my dog's doctor um, did every test to ascertain what if anything I was doing was jeopardizing my dog's health, and they couldn't find it. So now, fast forward about 2 years, and again, I'm giving my dog the best diet, using all the vet protocols for taking care of your pet, and now my dog, my little boy, the Pekingese, has to have go under anesthesia, and it's always an iffy if when under anesthesia because you may not come out of anesthesia. So that's a stress on the dog. And my little dog, this one is 6 years old, just turned 6 a couple of days ago, and may have to get his front teeth, all his front teeth extracted, and then say, "Oh, it's genetics." I say, just treat the if it's infection, treat the infection. Keep the dog's teeth. So if any of you who are going to be watching this video, if you can give me uh, any other possible solutions. Again, I know I'm not a vet, I'm not a doctor, and I know You may not be a doctor or anything, but maybe you know about health. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you know about health. And yet, people who are not physicians are healers. You know what I'm getting at? Respect the healer's knowledge. So, if any of you have knowledge of possible other alternative treatments to possibly heal any gum or teeth infections naturally for my dog, so I can try to preserve the dog's teeth. Again, my dog's teeth look nice. They look beautiful. They're all white and strong looking, but now all of it, well, whatever. Please, I beg you for any advice. What my instinct telling me, I want to get maybe a saline solution that's using distilled water and salt. I'm going to use my sea salt because you know sea salt is a natural anesthetic, and it's oh, what's the term? I forget. It kills germs and bacteria. And so to like maybe use a cotton ball and dip it in solution and put it to the dog's teeth. So if it's an infection, it might clean the infection out, you know, and maybe give them food. Maybe I make some um, what do you call it? Beef stock soup. That strengthens the immune system, and have my dog drink it, and maybe it might strengthen the teeth. You know, maybe I'll try that. So I just get confused when you try their methodologies. Why is it that the dogs eventually get these conditions? And again, I knew of a human doctor, for people, and she learned this doctor's name is Dr. Jennifer Daniels. She was kicked out of the country, forcibly to, you know, she they removed her doctor's license and she was forced out of the country. She now lives in Panama, and she shared her story. She was a very successful doctor for people, and she started seeing a correlation between her patients who were dying and medicine. We give our pets herbs and the okay, yeah. Let me know what herbs you use. So yeah. So this human doctor did an experiment, and in a nutshell, you could look at my past video. You can just type in the name Jennifer Daniels over the internet, and you'll learn all about her, what happened to her as a doctor, and that her alternative medicine in treating, healing her patients. Yes, hello, viewer. New viewer, yes. You can just write a hello in the chat so I can give you a big hello. So, what this Dr. Daniels learned was that the treatment was what was killing her patients. And so she used alternative methods. And so I'm wondering with my dog. Now I did everything with the dog, so what I'm getting at, like there's a natural progression of disease. When you follow traditional medicine, I mean, modern medicine that's being pushed on us, that the treatment, the vaccines, and all that has a path itself of when the manifestation of the disease will show up because of the treatment. And so that also includes doggy treatment. That's what I speculated too, because like man, like people, the Luciferian madmen who rule this world are depopulating, according to Easy. Yeah, 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 exactly. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I was just reading a chat of Easy. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm just really wondering, Like people, because people and animals, we're kin, so to speak, and so what happens to one happens to the other. Because the same type of doctors, they go to the same type of schools and the same type of outcome. You could do all the right things, go bring your dog to the doctors and all that, give them the kibble, and then down the line, they like my brother's dog developed these lumps, tumors, and then it just expired. Now the dog was part of a litter, and the dogs of that litter died around the same time, like a little over a month apart. Same symptoms, same type of care. So I'm wondering. My instincts are saying I wonder what's really, really going on in the health practice, because again I'm spending thousands of dollars on me and my dogs. And you all have seen those who've been following my channel. You see my dogs, and I'm all about health. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes like everybody, but overall I'm on the money, and I spend my money on health and natural remedies and stuff like that. And yes, even when you do all what is perfect, you can still get sick. Like me, I started to get cold symptoms last week, and that's I had gotten spots on my body, and you all can see those videos. They're my recent videos, and you can just see, check them out at your leisure if you want to find out about what happened to me about a week ago. And I went to my doctors, several doctors on my health care. So again, you can do all the right things for your dog, and then all of a sudden the sickness hits in this case dental. And and see, one thing with health, when your GI and your teeth, like your teeth, even with humans, when you have bad teeth, that can affect your heart. The bacteria from the mouth could attack the heart. So that's also why I was very keen on making sure my dog's teeth were on the money, was healthy, because I know oral health means overall health in that animal. Yes. Do you still have the strange markings on your skin? Okay, yes, easy. I I do, but it's fading. It's fading. And thank you for asking that. I appreciate my viewers asking me how I'm doing. Yes, I'm taking like I've been doing my bone broth. I made my homemade bone broth. I went to a meat store, that specializes in the meats, and asked, "Do you have bones?" And they said, "Yes, we have bones for making stock." And so I paid for it. It was a reasonable price, and I made my homemade bone beef broth. Boy, I can't repeat that several times fast. Yeah. Well, anyway, yes, it's fading, and slowly my strength. I feel I'm getting stronger, and the tickle in my throat, it's slowly easing. Um, yeah, I had gotten a little cold. I had dressed warm, and then one day, when I was leaving the building, I was very warm, and so I had it opened up a little bit, and that's when the cold air hit me, around my neck and my head, and that's when I started feeling funny, and again with the stress, as I told you, Easy, that my friend had passed away, and that put stress on me, and I think that it's a combination of things. But thank you again, Easy. So yeah, so I feel I have to be my own doctor and detective right now in this process of my dog's health. And again, you whether you're a pet owner or not, or your own personal health. See, if I make the mistake, if I know I did my very best, and so I know at least I did my best, and that's life, and it's under my terms. Okay, um, I have to reanalyze what I should do for my dog, and should I have my dog go into anesthesia and pay hundreds of dollars. I don't know how much this is going to cost me because now my funds have run low because I in the past 2 months I've been spending. I spent over $6,000. I kid you not, and that was out of my savings, and now I'm just kind of low right now, and I got to regroup my finances. Should I put a hold? Yes, hello, Majestic. Dandelion to clean out the blood. Oh, yes, I did take my dandelion. Yeah, I couldn't read your message long enough. But yes, for myself, I've been taking dandelion. I have the root and the leaf, and I've been taking that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes. I maybe for my dog. See, I'm afraid to give my dog that because I don't know about toxicity. But maybe I can do it as as like put it on a cotton ball and put it on my doggy's teeth. That's an idea. So it's like a tonic and just dab it on the teeth. So any bacteria or infection to get it out. And if they're gonna fall out, it's gonna fall out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna. I couldn't read the message fast enough, easy. But yeah, when this uploads this video, I'm going to read your information more detail. Yeah, make sure you get grass-fed bones to make your broth. Thank you again, Majestic. Thank you for listening and giving me. Yeah, because see, each one teach one. I know I don't know everything, and that you guys have information that you can share to me and the world who watch this video. I appreciate you guys and gals. I appreciate you all. Thank you again for watching and for sharing. So, excuse me. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that, Majestic. Thank you. I love you guys. I love you. Thank you. So, yeah, we have to see we humans give doctors our power. We give them our power to think and reason. So I'm wondering, I do all the right things for my dog, spend thousands of dollars on their medicines, and this happened. And my dog's teeth, as I told you, is nice and white. And then she said, oh, it's the breed also. It's but yeah, the dog has a small mouth. So why are the breeders breeding small teeth that are gonna fall out? And then you have to bring it to the doctor, and then they gotta extract and thousands of dollars being fed to these vets. I mean, I like my vet, but still they're following the protocols, and it's not helping my pocket. It's helping their pocket. Now I can't really afford to bring my dogs for their treatment because now I'm running out of funds. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm wondering whether to start doing the home cooked meals for my dog. Yep, that's what I'm wondering. Because again, I did bring my dog to the doctors twice a year just for overall health, in addition to teeth cleaning twice a year. And they couldn't find a damn thing wrong. Excuse my French. So I have to really analyze what's going on. And I'm thinking, put a hold. It's good to go to the doctors to get a diagnosis from these professionals. Now, the dog had a blood test and everything's good with the blood. So it's no infection. That would make sense that the blood tubes that they took from my little boy, Lavender, the Pekingese, it wouldn't it make sense to make sure that you're checking for an infection? She said the dog's liver and all that is healthy, so there's no infection, and the dog doesn't look like it's in pain when you touch in the mouth. So I'm wondering what's going on. So I'm thinking, I have to be honest, I am a little angry right now. I'm frustrated and angry. And I think maybe to put a hold on my dog getting uh, teeth extracted and under anesthesia, and just to try to preventive of any infection, you know, treat the infection. And if something's going to fall out, then it fall out. Okay, so that's my opinion regarding my feelings about veterinarians and my doggy's health. Now it's about my health, my human health. Now, as you guys, I had to go to the doctors about a week ago. I woke up one morning with these strange markings on my buttocks and thighs, the upper thigh. And I had markings similar to it, but it was just let's see, it was maybe 9 months ago, and it was on my mid thigh on the outside. These two two circle markings almost look like a prong. Like if you took a fork, a two-pronged fork, and poke me like that, equal distance. So all these things, like when you look at it, they're the same distance apart from each other. The ones with the double prong markings, it's like it almost looks like you ever burn yourself, like you're reaching inside the oven, the hot oven, and your skin accidentally touches the side, and you go ouch, and then the next day it's like a little brown spot. It almost looks like that. Almost looks like that. I didn't burn myself, and especially I didn't burn myself in my sleep with on my buttocks. I was sleeping on my back and on my side. And I had told you about the natural practitioner. I went to a dermatologist who has a natural, so-called natural approach to what do you call it, dermatology medicine. And again, they didn't really give me a diagnosis. They said, well, if you try, what's a diagnosis? I can tell you anything you want to hear, he said. And the diagnosis isn't what you need. You need to know what caused the spots. See, also, when a doctor doesn't give a diagnosis, it's going to pin them down on partial causality. Because every what do you call it, diagnosis has its cause or suggested cause to it. So I didn't really get a diagnosis, but they said, well, they believe that, it must be the essential oils I use. And what else? Um, oh, what's the other thing? Yeah, the essential oils. I use essential oils that's built into the soap I've made. I make my own soap, and I've been using it for a couple of years now. I I only use my homemade soap that I've been making for 4 years. But I do use essential oils topically on certain spots of my body. Okay, I blend it and with the oil and the essential oil. And that I had stopped use. I don't use that as often anymore, on and off. So my other doctor had said, at the VA hospital, I asked them, could the spot, because I saw this natural practitioner dermatologist, and I also went to my VA hospital uh, doctors. I saw three doctors saw me. Yeah, three, no, four doctors. It was two in the last room working together, older, and then the intern, so that's three, and then the one in the walk-in ER, so that's four. That's four. So it's four doctors I saw. And I inquired. I said, do you think, allergy to, because I did get a new bed. It's an organic, what do you call it? An organic latex bed, and it has a organic wool cotton topper on it. They said no, because if you're lying on top of it, it wouldn't just be on the buttocks, it would be all over your body. And if it was the what do you call it, the essential oils, or when you were doing a body soak with the natural herb bath detox you were taking to about 2 weeks prior, it would be all over your body, not just in that part of your body and in that pattern. They said we don't really know what it is, but they gave it some term. I can't remember, but it has the word rose on the end of the word. But it basically means it's a hyperpigmentation, uh, and it had like a reddish tinge to it or something. If I get the term later on, I could put it on the description below what the VA hospital called it. They said it's non-life threatening, but if it doesn't get if it doesn't fade away, come back and we do a biopsy. Okay. Now I now they did prescribe a cream. I got the cream in the mail, and the first two ingredients was petroleum and mineral oil, and then the latter two was something with the suffix. I mean the, the suffix ONE, like a it's like a hormone, like a I think like a cortisone type of thing. It was some long name, and I said, I avoid it, just in my natural, my regular walk. I I avoid. I do have petroleum at home, but I try to avoid it. I believe in using the oil. Oh, if it's Morgellons disease, you will encounter a conspiracy of silence, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Yeah, I think someone might have mentioned that before, Morgellons. That'd be interesting because, again, 2.5 weeks ago, I felt okay because it was the new year, it was January, and symbolically for me, when I'm doing, like, for me, when it's a new season, I believe, to do a special cleansings for your home. Like I have to clean my home. I want to do a very thorough cleaning and a detoxing of the past year's um, possible toxins I might have taken. So I did a coffee enema twice. One in a weekend. One weekend I did a coffee enema, and then the next week I did a coffee enema, all organic, and I felt fine. I didn't have any side effects whatsoever in the protocol that I used. Some of the protocols I used for it was I made sure I was well hydrated and that I had sea salt in it, because when you uh, use enemas, you're losing a lot of water when you expel it, and all the natural minerals from your body also can be extracted. I also use sea clay. I use, oh, what's the name? It'll come to me. It's a liquid. It's a clay, and it's in liquid form. And you use bentonite clay. I knew I would remember. It's called bentonite clay. And you take um, a tablespoon of it, mix it with water, and you drink it. This substance pulls out the toxins from your body. So when you use it in a protocol of a coffee enema, you take that first, because that clay, by the time you take the enema, that clay is going to be in your system, and it's going to grab or catch the early release of the toxins that are expelled from the liver, because the caffeine that's in the coffee stimulates the liver to release its toxins, and since the clay is there to catch it, so to speak, it, it it's carried out the body, and so there's minimal exposure to the toxins in your blood system because it's being held onto by the clay, and then it's expelled. And then after the coffee enema I did, I use a activated charcoal um, blend. I use that with water, clean water, and I use again my black sea salt, enough because I wanted to make sure I'm getting minerals, and then I drank that to get the remaining end of the toxins that are being released in my body post um, coffee enema. And then I took just fresh water and cleaned myself out. Okay, that's what I did. And then I also took herbal baths, just, the herbs, dried herbs that you can get from an herb store. I went to an Indian store that's in New York City, a very well known one, and they have every possible herb, dried herb that you can get. So I bought it, and I soaked in it um, twice. And maybe this was removing the toxins. I don't know. I don't know. But I had it. And I do have some theories that I think some of you may sense. But I'm not going to say it verbally. But it could be a detoxing effect from those protocols that I did 2 weeks prior. And then when my friend died, the stress with that. Um, I don't know. I don't know. But in particular with me, it's the pattern of some of the marks, the two dots, and some of them were just a weird mark, and like the marks that was on my belly, the upper belly, was problematic to me. It was no real pattern. It just looked like a something, I don't know. But it's one of the buttocks that I saw was very problematic with the two prong like thing. But it is fading. So here I do go to these professionals, and in particular, it's the so-called top doctor. He charged so much, and I won't. I decided I won't be going back to him, and I did get back my deposit. I'm happy to say that. I didn't want to say anything really negative without my first getting back my deposit, which I got back. And I found the doctor probably just something problematic. And again, for those of you who had watched that video about my doctor's visit uh, regarding those spots that I had, um, he used a kinesiology methodology of ascertaining what could possibly be wrong. Um, you put your arm out, and then they push downward. And if you're weak at a particular, if some medicine that they putting against your belly, that your energy field doesn't like it, when the doctor presses down on your arm, you're not going to press. If you don't like it, you won't be able to hold up. But if your body likes it, your body's going to be strong with it. Yes, hello viewer. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, you can just type in the chat room and just give a quick hello so I can say hello to you too. Yeah, I'm just talking about my own personal health. I just finished talking about my dogs. So again with me, that this doctor I'm having questions about. I had questions about them when the procedure was done, but he was talking very fast and being very quick about what he was doing. And he's an older guy, and I guess the my mental program about doctors that they know everything, and he's an um, older fellow, and so you don't challenge the doctor. But I said let me give him a chance because I never been to a naturopath doctor before. Okay, and then I had to pay an extra 100 plus in nutrients, the supplements. And I question about, like, I told you just now that you were supposed he the doctor was to press down on their hand, their arm. But sometimes he didn't press downward. He like pressed in, like into my arm socket. So of course it's not gonna budge. He's pressing in, not down. And I felt he did that on purpose. Why is he able to do it before down and then the other time he do it in? I think he was not being genuine there and making it so to justify why he's giving this supplement. To say, yeah, yeah, your body like this supplement, it doesn't like that, blah, blah, blah. And then the other problematic thing with him was this. Now, I asked him, and I ask practitioners, especially when you're paying close to $500 in a service, I always ask, I said, say, do you give veterans discount? That's all I asked. And it was at the end when he was writing something, the report, and the assistant was there and had a problem with the computer. So I'm being detained longer and longer because they don't have their act together. My doctor, this is what my doctor's response was when I gave an honest request. Plus, in addition, that I had to wait an hour and a half for him to see me. So he's putting me back an hour and a half for my time when I was supposed to be leaving. Okay, my doctor's appointment was for 3:30 p.m., but he sees me at 5 p.m. So he's late. So when he gave me the response that I'm going to tell you, how shocked I was after all this waiting time, he says to me when I asked if he gives veterans discount, he said, "What? You're asking me if I give veterans discount? You should be paying me more money because I'm spending extra time with you, and I should you should be charged you should be paying me more money." I said, "Well, doctor, I'm following your lead, referring to I'm not holding you back time wise." And he said something else, and it really put me back. It offended me, and I thought, how arrogant! And wait a minute, he's wasting my time. I got to pay extra. He wants me to pay extra because of his time. What about my time? Did he apologize for being an hour and a half late? He should have at least said, you had to wait all that time. And I know you have to take the train back all the way back home. I was in a different county. Never been up to in that neighborhood. So I had to take a taxi plus a train there. Did he apologize for having to wait an hour and a half extra? No. And then threatened to charge me extra money than what was agreed upon. And then charging me for the supplements and other extra $100 plus. See, that's why my finances now had decreased extremely in the past uh, 2 months since December. Yeah, yeah. So that's what's going on, and so I'm see when truth hits. See, we don't like to see the truth in doctors. We like to believe that we it's our fault. You're the bad patient. It's your fault that you're sick. It's your fault that your dogs are sick. It's your fault that the world is sick, rather than the practitioner. So here he was late. Here he starts arguing me that I'm wasting that his valuable time and that he has to get up in 11 hours because he has to go over. Yet these professions are charging you without helping you. Thank you, Easy. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, keep on sharing your knowledge, Easy, and everyone else who's watching. You guys have natural wisdom and you can see through fakery. And I perceive that this doctor that I saw, there's something that's not genuine. And but I want to be polite because he's an older white man and uh, he's a professional. He's Jewish. He knows everything, but you don't. And everybody, only his method is the right method, and his medicine is the good medicine. And all the other dermatologists who are naturopathic, they don't do it his way, according to him. And, because I asked him, because see, his website says his address is not far from where I live. And that's why I called him. But upon calling him on the phone and talking to his assistant and him, I discovered that he's located upstate, further up north, and not in the city where I live. So that was another problematic issue for me. Yes, hello, new viewer. Hello. You can give a quick shout in the chat and to say hello. Yes, blessings and spice. Yes, blessing. Welcome. Yes. So, yes, I appreciate my viewers. I appreciate you guys. You see, you guys give me courage and you make me feel loved. Yes, it's nice to feel loved. And even though I call my channel Spirit Journey, we all need love. We're all human and we all have feelings. And I like to share my feelings early morning because I feel the most receptive to share in the darkness my feelings because I feel it's the early morning talks that really minister to myself and to others and to help uh, bring about awakening in myself of self-discovery, what's really going on with myself, with medicine in general. So again, this fancy health practitioner was telling me that like when I discovered that the doctor didn't live didn't have a practice in town, um, that he was saying, well, so I asked him, well, what about could you give me a referral because your website says that you're located here, but you're not here, and so could you give me a recommendation? I don't want to travel up there because it'll be getting late, and I like to get home before dark. I'm not familiar with that area where you guys are located. And then he started arguing with the doctors over in the city. They don't have his approach. And they can't get to the root cause, and his methods are unique. So I thought he was very cocky. I said to myself, hey, if this guy is all that good, and I don't know where these marks on my body came from, I want a good doctor who can ascertain what's going on. And here, when I got there, and him looking, and he didn't use gloves, I said, excuse me, but could you please put on gloves? He said, sure, I'll put on gloves, but you know how I'm going to see what it feels like because that's part of the diagnose, to understand what it is, because I have to see what it feels like. Well, you better wash your hands first, okay? I didn't see him wash his hands, so I don't know. Maybe he could have left the room because at one moment he walked out of the room and the assistant is there, and then he walked back in the room. So I don't know. And again, he could have said, "I did wash my hands when I left out to be able to examine you with my bare hands," but he didn't say that. So that's why I'm starting to think he did not wash his hands. So either way, I want my skin protected. When you're going to touch a a bizarre markings on your body. You don't want any other foreign pathogen or somebody else's body touching it. You got to keep it clean from everything, and that includes dirty hands and ungloved hands. Yes, hello, new viewer. Good morning. Good morning. You could give a shout out in the chat room so we all could say hello. So yes, I'm talking about my personal health in this matter. So again, the doctor did put on the gloves. But again, the attitude, the arrogance and the attitude. See, he's not God either. And a real doctor would be able to give referrals, especially in the field for a long time, and your naturopath. Naturopaths know other naturopaths, but why is he going to poo-poo other naturopath dermatologists? Okay, so he feels like he has the holy grail of medicine. And here again, it shows his possible character when you ask a simple question like, "Hey, do you give veterans discounts?" And rather than saying just, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't," he yells at me and says, "You should be paying me more money at the amount of time I'm giving you." So I didn't like that approach. And again, I felt he was wasting my time. Because again, he's an hour and a half late with me. And then the computers aren't working. I mean, the printers aren't working. And they're trying to make it work. And then they have to bring it and walk in another printer from another room, put it in the examination room in order to get a print out. So I was a little like, I don't know about this, but you want to be polite and oh, he has to get up early in the morning. So again, it's like he's conveniencing me, but yet he just got over $500 from me. Okay? So I find that problematic. It just seems very arrogant, you know, and I didn't like that. So I did call his office. Um, I called I called the next day. And then because I didn't hear from them and and I wanted to make sure that they got the message, the email. So I called, and then and then she called me. So I know, yes, she got my message and we spoke. And the next day after that phone call, she gave me back my refund because I had to make a refund. Because it seemed like they're really close up. They're really into getting your money up front, your money up front, your money up front. And then it was a lot of paperwork before they even spoke with me at the hospital. And it was all these contracts and contracts. If this happens, if, you know. I didn't read your message fast enough. Oh, if you write that, I saw the word Indian. If you could write that, type that message one more time. My eyes were looking up a little bit, and I didn't see it in time. But yeah, it's just problematic. So I'm wondering about these, like, see, I think what I'm learning, what my instincts are telling me, and again, not every practitioner, and not necessarily this doctor, but some things was problematic. I'm saying, and being late and having broken equipment. And the other thing that was problematic, they put my medical record in the other patient that was before me's file. And then they had to find it. And they found in the other practitioner, I mean, the other patient. And this is before the examination. So isn't this sloppy work? Yeah, you're paying close to $500 just to walk in. And then they put because they had to interview me when I got there. And they were writing notes. And then those notes was to go in my file. But instead of putting it in my file, they put it in the client that was there before me, that I saw. Yeah. If he treated me that way, I'd never go back to him and will tell everyone what a jerk he was. Yeah, you're brave. See, yeah, thank you, Easy. Thank you for sharing that. I got that. Yeah, I think part of me is that, see, even though I'm spirit journey, I'm still breaking the program of being programmed about doctors and that doctors are like a god. They think they're God and that they're holy men. And then you better not upset them. But see, this doctor is playing that role of the God doctor, and I better not hurt his feelings. But I think I'll do a separate video because the doctor said, oh, if I treat you the pain that's in your lower right side, will you write a good report on me? I said, well, it's not healed, but we'll see what happens. But that sounds like a doctor that's looking for compliments. A doctor, really, yeah, I almost forgot about that. He said that to me. A real professional that heals doesn't have to beg for good, compliments. You a good healer? Yeah, they'll be racing at your door and be typing, oh, this doctor was wonderful. But everything he really says, it just shows to me that he is a whore for money, not for healing. And that I feel, relies on this trickery of what he wants to promote at the time. So he pushes, like I said, he has your hands straight out to your side. And then when he wants you to have to buy particular medicine, he'll like push into your body. Like rather than pushing down, he'll push in. See how it's resisting? That means that this is good for you energetically. For that to be a science approach, that means every time he presses downward on your hand would be the same, but it's not. So how do you know you're measuring the same thing? There's measuring correctly because you're doing it differently every time. And I found that to be problematic. But then I would justify and say, well, he has to know what he's doing. So I'm still wondering, hey, what's really going on? And then again, when I asked him, again, he said this. When I asked him, I said, oh, will you be able to? Because he's now in a rush. He said, well, I have to go because I have to get up in 11 hours. I have to take a flight over to the West Coast. Okay. Now, he said, because when I asked him for the paperwork, to give me a diagnosis, what I have, because I'm not going to remember everything he said. He said, well, I don't have enough time, and it won't be on my time, it'll be on your time. Real nasty. I kid you not. I kid you not. I never got I got an email and said, "Hey, give me that paperwork." And if he says something like, "Well, you got to pay me 100 something dollars to give me a diagnosis or follow up," I'm gonna say, "Fuck you," and I demand a copy of my file and report him. That's what I should do. See, I'm angry because I want to believe in these doctors. This is the spirit of where my anger is coming from. That I want to believe in the old school that doctors are God and that this doctor was my friend, but he just had maybe a bad attitude, and it's just my attitude to not want to succumb and to be subdued by this doctor. Doesn't he doesn't want me to think for myself. No, I got to think for myself. I have to think and do for myself. And I got to protect myself from these so called practitioners who pretend, who abuse verbally and financially the patients, many of them. So, um, I didn't get a diagnosis. The doctor's supposed to be coming back to New York on the 6th. So I think that was yesterday. So I should email the doctor and have them just email my diagnosis and what his findings are, or just give me a copy of the file or mail it to me. Okay? I shouldn't have to pay for that. So either way, I feel funny about this whole practitioner, this medical practitioners for my health. And see, I think it's these treatments. And again, the cream that the VA hospital gave for me to put on me, it wasn't that medicine that caused it. So why should I put a foreign chemical on my body? So the only thing I've been putting on my body was non-GMO glycerin, which is softens the skin and adds moisture. Because see, their medicine, the petroleum and the mineral oil, is to hold in the moisture. Okay, it's to act as a barrier. So why should I use some? Because I really don't prefer to use that. I use a natural oil. You know, in this case, I use a glycerin, and it's fading. And I took my bone broth, and yes, YouTuber, yeah, Obama started this, and in my opinion, Trump is equally guilty for not correcting it, etc. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Continue sharing. We each all teach all. We all are teachers and we all are students. We all could learn from each other. So I'm hoping that that we learn to treat our bodies well. So I want to next time I do the bone broth, I do like the idea of getting grass-fed cow bones. Um, but I just got it where I can get bones. It was a specialty store. Um, and you know what else I do? I pray over my food. Yes, I do. Before I drink anything, eat anything, I bless that food and give thanks for it. So if one thing doesn't work, hopefully that the blessing of the food will work, because you also bless it. But when you bless your food, you're taking in what you bless. And I tell you this: if you curse your food and eat it, you'll put it in curses in your body. So energetically, that's not going to work. Cursing yourself, bless yourself in everything. Even if you feel badly about yourself, bless yourself, bless yourself, bless yourself. Yeah, I can't stop stressing that. So these are the things I feel about these medical practitioners and my pet doctors, the veterinarian. See, they want you to follow their care plan, and then all of a sudden you become poor. So I have to really do soul searching, um, and really do instinctively what is wrong. But again, if you having an emergency, you better go see a doctor. Don't be stupid, but use your instincts about your medical care, and um, you're doing your best, and to not beat yourself over the head. You know. So I will continue to take my teas, my herbal teas, detox, and take your green leafy veggies to help build up your body and everything. That's what I'm doing to build up my body um, of nutrients and foods that are easily digested, and go from there. So I thank you guys for listening, for adding your comments, your discernment in the matter. Yeah, more activism is needed. We can't trust our leaders. Yes, thank you, Easy. Thank you, Easy. Yeah, we're being taught to not think that everybody else is the doctor. You know what I'm learning? Because I'm telling you this. Let me tell you something. What else I'm doing? And it's not to break away from this conversation, but it's really to add to it. Be, excuse me, be your own magician. Be your own magician. That the magic really is within you. I um I did a card reading for myself. I'm no expert at it, but you do it in the right spirit, right meditation, right energy, and if it's something that you believe in, that it's going to come about this methodology. Now, I did a tarot card reading on myself, and you could do one for yourself too. And you'll be amazed at the insight that it can give. And I gave myself a card reading on it. I said, whoa, that the answers that they could give. And again, you're reading the meaning of the card and what the meaning of the card is. I'm not just saying interpretation of the card, reading what the card actually means. They have a book. And you just read what the meaning for that card means with that card deck. And you come into understandings. Do things that bring about understandings. And then you test it also. If you can test what something says, do so for self-empowerment. That is the theme of this live stream, to empower yourself and not give your power away to somebody else. Work together with your doctor to come about into a health care plan for you. Yes, do that when you need that extra help. Get it. But don't give it all your power away. If you need more power, you absorb more power. But use your power, use your mind to get through this mess. Because when it's going to hit you, it's going to hit you. But be hit strong in spirit, baby. That's what I'm saying. Be strong in your spirit, which is eternal. And with that last note, more power to you, my viewers, my subscribers. I love you. I love you. And I thank you for giving me the encouragement and following me along. Yes, yes. Go with natural remedies whenever possible, even if they don't work. They shouldn't make it worse. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes, more power to us. You are all doctors. Learn how to treat your body. Learn how to grow in knowledge of truth, your own personal truth. And when you can, test the truth that you're given. So enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy the now, enjoy your pets. Peace, love, and joy to you all. I thank you guys for listening. Take care. Bye bye.